2 p.m. This start time a little after at 2:03, and then a 6 o'clock game later tonight. Games 2 and 3, 18 innings of baseball. Home plate umpire is Doug Vines here this afternoon in game 2, and it is a strike from Carson Dorsey. Second pitch, 94 on the gun, fouled off 0, and two younger, 1 for 5 in game 1. Did have a strikeout. Had a standout summer in the Northwoods League, Collegiate Summer League. That is very underrated over there in the Midwest. Breaking ball, did he go around, check down? No, he did not. First base, umpire Tim Rosso. Second base will be Kenneth Fitz, and Greg Street, who was last night's home plate ump, man's third base. 1-2 count coming to Younger. Nearly 200 hits in his career at Wofford. Starting almost 180 games, stole 65 bags. And he has been a tear in ACC play. North of 350 coming into the weekend. 6 doubles and 4 home runs against the Atlantic Coast Conference. 2-2, rolls it on the ground. Chopper, Cal Fisher, the freshman, in there for 4-0. Makes the play. 1 up, 1 down for Dorsey and the Seminoles.
Good job with the fastball there. He mixed in the 2 breaking balls. Still trying to find that pitch today, it looks like. Bounced both of those up there. And after you change speeds like that, going 94 to 74, Younger just a little bit behind on that one, grounding out the second.
In steps the leader in the clubhouse for Georgia Tech and the leader in the clubhouse for National Freshman of the Year. Folks, Drew Burress is as advertised. 5'9", but it's a stocky 5'9". There is a lot of strength in that body, in that build. You look at the forearms. Those are bigger than most people's biceps. There's a ball low, 94. Burress, talking to Danny Hall yesterday, he gave us some stories about how Burress has some of the highest IQ of anyone he's ever seen play the game, especially at his young age. Pitch recognition, plate coverage, bat speed, all of that. It's a complete package, and we saw him shine in center field as well defensively.
Yeah, and Coach Hall says he's just always picking his brain. You know, when he's not in between, he's going there talking to him about video, what he's watched on pitchers, and all the stuff that he does. But he's just ahead of the game right now where he's at age-wise.
Dorsey not trying to give him anything he can hit. It's a 3-0 count. Fastball in there for a strike, and Burress asked Danny Hall earlier this season when they played NC State. Sam Highfill on the mound, known for changing arm slots. He said, "Coach, does he change arm slots routinely?" He goes, "I'm not sure. He did it a couple years ago." As that one bounces in there for the walk, Burress will take first. But Burress said they play NC State. Danny Hall notices that Highfill only changes his arm slot for Burress. One player.
One pitch,
and on that one pitch, and what does Burress do to it?
Took it out of the yard.
Takes it out of the yard. He said, "I had chills." Danny Hall said, "I hadn't seen that from a kid that young." And the Jackets have probably the premier player in the ACC for years to come, and that's center fielder.
Yeah, and I talked to him before the game, and Burress had nothing but praise to say, too, about James Ramsey. Coach Ramsey, and Seminole fans know exactly who that man is, about where he's gotten him to be. I asked him, how the adjustment had been, being a freshman, being as successful as he has been this year. And, he obviously talked about the obvious stuff, different, seeing, velocity and things on a more consistent basis. But he just said, Coach Ramsey's just got me prepared in everything that I do.
0-1 to Ellis, up the middle. Right back where it came from. Burress going to round second and put on the brakes. So there's a knock for Ellis. He had a hit yesterday, so his second base hit of the weekend. Jackets 2 on, 1 down here in the top of the first right out of the gate. Here's John Giesler. The senior from Marietta. 6'3", 3 knocks last night. 2 against Jamie Arnold. Takes a first pitch strike on the inside half.
Yeah, Giesler looked really good last night. All 3 of his hits hit really well.
And the 0-1. Dorsey delivers on the hands. Fought off but foul. Now 0-2. Dorsey didn't have the start that he wanted last week against Pitt. Only lasted a couple of innings. But he had been the team's MVP for the month of April. 4 quality starts. As this one into center field, it'll drop. Burris rounds third, he'll come home. Jackets are on the board.
Geese are coming through again like he did last night, able to fight the fastball off on his hands, strong enough to get it out in the center field and drive in the run. But this is what happens with Dorsey. He was not able to throw that breaking ball for a strike. He's having to stick with the fastball. And against a lineup like this, it's not something you want to have.
There is the strike with a breaking ball to Cam Jones, who bats righty, but you're going to see him throw from the left-hand side when he takes the mound in the bottom half of the inning. Today's starting pitcher, the transfer from Georgia State. The 0-1. Hit into right field on a line, but right at James Tibbs, out number 2. A loud out for Jones. And both runners have to stay put. Tibbs sporting a new facial hairdo today. Oh, my goodness. Who told him that was a good idea?
Mixing it up, man. Mixing it up. Got rid of the beard and kept the stash.
Breaking ball in there for a strike. 76. Big loopy. Curveball there from Dorsey to Zamarzalak, the senior from the state of Connecticut. Near 300 batting average. Zamarzalak 2 hits last night. Breaking ball again. Oh, that one missed.
Good looking pitch right there.
The 1-1 to Zamarzalak. High fastball. Lays off 2-1. Dorsey getting some buzz as a 4th to 5th round draft pick after his insertion into the starting rotation for Florida State. Injuries to the Noles. Leiter has been out for now nearly 6 weeks. Whitaker, Barrett, as the fastball in there for a strike to Zamarzalak. And so the Noles have been playing roulette after Jamie Arnold, trying to figure things out. Haven't had a true number 3 starter for a majority of the season and a majority of conference play. Dorsey, though, has done a nice job of providing the Noles a steady number 2. Would love to get out of the inning, giving up just 1 run. Breaking ball 83, was that the slider?
Yeah.
He does feature a occasional slider.
And he'll speed up that breaking ball, from time to time. Tries to tighten it up.
Zamarzalak, drafted in the 40th round of the 2019 draft by the Baltimore Orioles. 5th-year senior. Skies this one. Drifting, Cantu on the grass. Seems to have it, and he does. Battling the sun here in Tallahassee, Georgia. First pitch, 87. Misses the zone. Williams showed bunt, pulled it back. Ball 1. Big shift on. As that one misses, now 2-0. Got Pichetti playing in shallow right fields. And Kearse ranged over to the right side of the second base bag. Slow roller. Kearse charges, throws one away. Nice looking play from the freshman.
Yeah, he's really impressed me so far. He looked really good last night as well.
Georgia Tech going to go with Dimitri Diamond at third base here. A lot of things having to shift around with Jones on the mound as they usually do. However, with Green not available here today, you put that into high gear. Even more guys having their numbers called.
Yeah, and like I said, Kearse getting that opportunity last night and today has really answered the bell.
First pitch strike to Smith. Cam Smith had his 56 game on-base streak snapped in Game 1 against Pitt. And what he's done since is go 11 for 19. Last night, 3 more base hits, average up to nearly 400. A lock to be a first-team All-ACC and probably an All-American.
You know, it's almost like he got mad that he didn't get on base and decided to take it out on everybody he's faced since then.
Named the Cape Cod League's top draft prospect at the end of the summer. Off speed, catches a piece. It fooled Smith. He fouls it back 2-2. Smith widely expected to be a first-round draft pick this summer in the MLB draft. 2-2. Tried to go the other way. Fouled it to the right side on an 88-mile-an-hour heater. Now the 2-2. Another foul ball. Looking to go over that fence in right, opposite field. He did that yesterday and was successful.
Yeah, he was. He got a pitch on the outer half and did what you're supposed to do with it. Crushed it into the darkness last night. I'll tell you what, great piece of hitting.
Again, Jones trying to utilize the outside half of the plate. That time mixing speeds. Smith, so far, able to stay alive.
Yeah, Jones is trying to come hard in and soft away.
Now soft inside.
Yep.
And again, Smith catches a piece.
Good battle right here.
3 hits last night, the 11th time this season that Cam Smith has had 3 or more hits in a game. Watches that one full. This is a good at-bat. Yeah. Knowles, third baseman.
I'll tell you what, Cam Jones looked down at his pitch column and looked in the dugout like, I didn't want that pitch.
Full count, Cam versus Cam. Hits it to left, pull side. Carrying off the top of the wall. Digging into second. Cut off, and that allows Smith to have a double.
I'll tell you what, that's at least the 3rd ball I've seen Cam Smith hit this year that's hit the very top of the fence, and he just missed a home run. He did it at Pitt here, and he did another one early in the year, but I mean just by a couple of inches. Got an off-speed pitch, kept his hands back, drove it off the wall.
That is the 18th double of the year for the Noles. Outstanding sophomore. He now leads the team. Was tied with the guy at the plate, James Tibbs. And that misses. Tibbsy having a case for ACC Player of the Year. Looking at all the numbers, when you put the entire package together, it really doesn't seem like there should be much of a conversation about who should get ACC Player of the Year. That one nicks Tibbs, and he'll trot down to first.
Yeah, fastball just got away from Jones there.
Surely guys like Blake Wright, Ben Miller, Nick Kurtz have had outstanding years, but when you look at the average, the power production, the defense from James Tibbs.
And even Cam Smith, his teammate, right there with him too.
First pitch in there to Dingus.
Nice off-speed pitch by Jones.
Sophomore from the Empire State. Average has dipped. Now in the low 300s. Did have a hit yesterday. As he smokes this one up the middle, base hit. They're going to wave home Smith. Burris charges. Throw coming home. It's a good one, but a little late. RBI single, Dingus Knowles respond and tie the game in the first.
See this right here. Dingus gets a fastball, just drives it right back up the box. Aggressive base running by Coach McGahee here in the Knowles. Good throw by Burris, but Cam with a nice slide, backdoor slide with the hand touch. Tie the game early.
Top of this Seminole order, as good as you'll find in the country. Lefty-righty splits, balance, power, depth. Jaime Ferrer, a key cog in that conversation. He steps in. Center field, shallow, lazy fly ball. And Burris has it. 2 away. Ferrer hunting a first pitch. And I'm sure Ferrer's going to want to do better with that as he trots back to the dugout. So much like Dorsey in the top half of the inning, the Seminoles had some success early on. Now with 2 outs, can Cantu be a difference maker? He first pitch offers, and that's another lazy fly ball. Jones gets out of the inning with just 1 run across.
Ball, he started finding it there later in the inning. The fastball's always there for Dorsey.
Dorsey in back-to-back starts against Wake and Duke. 6 innings apiece, 4 earned runs combined, 19 strikeouts, 2 walks against 2 of the best lineups in the ACC. Slow roller, going to be a tough play for Fisher to make. Bear hands it, and Cantu whiffed. My goodness, Cantu just went for the baseball, and I don't know if he took his eye off the ball, but Fisher probably deserved to be rewarded by his first baseman there.
Yeah, it's a nice play right here. Great changeup. Gets him out front, makes a good play. Yeah, he just whiffs it. Be interested to see who the air goes to.
They're going to give it a single, and I don't agree with it.
Oh,
that
wow.
should be a E3.
100%. Definitely not a hit. I mean, he's out by a step and a half.
There's a strike to Curse. Curse, good bunt. Cantu a check to second, over to first, Fisher covering. Nice work by the 8-hole hitter, moves Pichetti into scoring position. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Inside corner to Diamond. Dimitri Diamond from Vegas, Las Vegas, Nevada. Bishop Gorman High, a sophomore. A top 5 recruit in the state of Nevada. And one of the top 10 third basemen in the country according to Perfect Game. Hitting 143 on the year. Just his 15th plate appearance.
Yeah, you'd like to see Dorsey go right at the 9-hole guy right here.
Hitters count for the third baseman. Misses low.
Not been getting the low strike today. But he's been consistent behind the plate. Ball is down a little bit.
And the 3-1 with Bichetti at second, 1 down. Fouled back. Dimitri also has appeared on the mounds this season. A couple of appearances.
Following Cam Jones' footsteps.
Full count offering. And he fouls it back. We will do it again. Dorsey sets, full count delivery, strike 3 called inside corner. Backwards K, and Dorsey has a feel for the inside here so far.
He does. He's been really good in glove side. Great pitch right there. Sticks it on the inner half. Definitely what you want right there. Get that 9-hole guy out before you turn it over to the top of the lineup.
That is the first strikeout of the afternoon here for Dorsey. Top of the order, Younger. And with Burris looming in the on-deck circle, Dorsey's going to want to get after it against Younger. No easy task. Younger has had an outstanding season on the flats, 348 average currently. That one misses high, 2-0. Right field, Tibbs, playable, makes the grab. Jack, Lodies, Holbrook, and Fisher. 7, 8, 9. First pitch, off speed in there for a strike. The John Olerud two-way player of the year semifinalist. Actually was a finalist for the award in his time at Georgia State a couple years back.
Yeah, Georgia State, I mean, he was all-world there. All-Sun Conference first team all 3 years while he was there. Only player to ever do that.
Lodi serves this one into right center field. He's got a single. Second hit of the weekend for the Noles shortstop.
And you saw Jones' disgust right there. Got a weak ground ball, but with the shift on, nobody's there.
The shift giveth, and the shift taketh away. Yeah.
Can't stand it, man. And I'm probably one of those pitchers that probably might be in
Vin
a
Scully
minority.
used to say that with the Dodgers.
Yep.
Vin Scully, the GOAT.
I'll tell you what, I'm just not a fan of it.
First pitch misses to Holbrook. That was close.
That was a good pitch by Jones.
Honored for senior day, McGuire started his career at West Virginia, Big 12 country. The Mountaineers before coming here to Tallahassee. Second pitch he does offer, fouls it back and out of play.
Go to him, man.
278 average, 753 OPS. The 1-1 with Lodi set first. Hit hard. Burris has a good jump on it. He's going to come back to first and double play. Drew Burris does it all.
Heck of a play right there by Burris, but at the same time, Lodi's got caught in no man's land. Didn't want to get forced out at second. But as you see right here, you watch him. He stops, but then breaks to second. Oh, and that's what caught him right there. Great job by Burris. Nice play.
Line drive, base hit into right field for Fisher. Second hit of the inning. However, the double play negates the big inning. Now the Noles will need two-out magic.
Good piece of hitting by Fisher. Jones trying to sneak a fastball by him. Fisher able to slap it in the right field.
Top of the order. Tell you what, the Seminoles are getting some good swings off of Jones. And Jones is going to have to rely on pitchability, mixing his speeds and using both halves of the plate. Oh, and if he's not getting that call, it's going to make life tough.
Wow, that's a really good pitch. And you can see Jones wasn't happy at all.
Try that same spot, and Doug Vines ain't giving it to you.
Tell you what, I kind of feel for Jones right there. That's 2 strikes in a row he didn't get.
He was actually talking as a 3-0 pitch. Green light right at Burris. Wrong person to hit it to. Some loud outs in the inning. And Drew Burris showing you why he's one of the best players in the country.
Even if it's the hitter or the pitcher. Hey, where am I successful hitter? Where is he successful?
Kind of looks like how I would draw an art class when I was in elementary school.
Couldn't stay
all over the place.
You couldn't stay inside the lines.
Red and blue. I'm like, I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, I'll just mix it all up.
Yep.
You were into abstract, that's all.
Yeah, if you put it like that. So was Picasso. Here's Burris. Walked in his first plate appearance. In on the hands. Cantu makes the grab in foul territory right next to the bat.
Big out for Dorsey there to start the inning.
Lefty-lefty matchup now with Ellis. You were talking about that induced vertical break. David Seifert, D1Baseball.com, in that Wake Forest series, as that one misses the zone breaking ball. Was able to catch it at 18 to 21 inches of induced vertical break. Chavez, what does that mean?
You're asking an old school guy. But typically what it means is the ball just doesn't, it stays on the same plane longer than majority of other pitchers. You know, you get sinker ball guys, it just stays up. People think it means the ball's rising. It doesn't rise. It just stays on the same plane.
I popped the glove. And I missed. Ooh, buddy.
All of a sudden that zone's starting to tighten up for both teams out there.
That one in there for a strike. Talking to a buddy of mine who does umpiring at the high school level, he said once you get to postseason time, these umpires start tightening their zones, trying to make their numbers look good so they can pitch in the postseason. That one catches the zone. They want to be a part of the regional, super regional. And you talk about teams wanting to get to Omaha, umpires want to get to Omaha and be able to be a part of those College World Series crews.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, for people who want the game to be faster, the fact that they have these strike zones the way that they do and these umpires are doing what they are, it's just, it doesn't play well. And if you talk to the coaches, they'll tell you right now they'd rather see a little bit of a bigger zone. You're going to get the game moving quicker. You're going to get everything that you want, that everyone's looking for with the pitch clock and everything else. Well, let's go, man. You can't be not given a millimeter off the plate. You got to call that a strike.
Second walk for Dorsey. Has Ellis at first. And Giesler. 4 hits on the weekend. Good looking first baseman. Average up to .315 on the year. The 1-0 pickoff play. Ellis back in there safely.
I'll tell you what. You can see Ellis right there. Dorsey's pickoff move is one of the best in the country from a lefty.
Now Ellis gave him a look like I'm 0 for 0 on the year.
Yeah, but
am I the guy that you're worried about?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'll tell you, when you have a really good move, that doesn't matter. You can still pick those guys off that are 0 for 0.
Chavez, can a pickoff move be used to throw off the hitter at the plate? Absolutely. The momentum, the rhythm of the at-bat.
Absolutely, but it's more of just the hold, the change of speed, not being, repetitive. One thing that you see some coaches do and even players do on their own, 11 was really big on it. Coach Shoup was really big on it. Hey, change your looks, vary your looks.
1-2. Back-to-back off-speed pitches. You saw Dorsey just snap a changeup in there.
Yep.
For strike number 2. That one, the breaking ball, fouled off. Giesler, a couple of unbuttoned.
And see, this would be a good one right here. You
Buttons on the
talked about,
jersey.
but this is one of the things you talk about here. I'd like to see him, Dorsey, come here and use the pitch clock to his and hold and hold and hold, and then slide step with a fastball. Something totally different look.
Back to the off speed.
Really
Giesler
good.
had a notion.
Yeah, that was a really good pitch and good job by Giesler laying off.
Dorsey was a 17th round draft pick by the Rangers back in 2022. Decided to go JUCO route. There's that breaking ball. Oh man, and he pulled a slow one. 73. A big looper and his third strikeout.
Yeah, he went with a hard breaking ball before, down in the dirt, about 80, 82. Then he follows it up with 73. I don't think it was so much the break on as he just had him so far out in front. Great piece of pitching.
Said it was his third strikeout, actually just his second. Georgia Tech making Dorsey work, though. As Jones fouls it off the other way. Jones a fly out back in the first. Trying to aid his own cause on the hill. Two-way player here today. Sporting that, is that pink or red bat? Chavez, what do you got?
I got pink. He was sporting it last night.
There we go. One. Ellis still at first, the two outs. On the ground, Smith sees it into the glove, the force out at second. And the side is retired. Dorsey, 3 strong innings here in game 2. Tied at 1. He'll find in the game. And all 14 ACC teams will ascend out there. And should be a fun week of baseball with a lot on the line. You talk about national seeds, regional hosts, for a couple of teams like Georgia Tech needing to get into the tournament right on the bubble. I know Virginia Tech's on the bubble. Hokies lost last night to Virginia. Not good for the resume. We'll see. There's always one surprise in Charlotte. Someone always makes a run that you go,
And there are a few of those teams in this conference that can do that this year. Good change up there by Jones.
Coming to Smith. Hit hard on a line, right center field, and it's off the wall. Smith's going to have to stop with a single, a loud single. And Florida State's third baseman continues to be sizzling hot.
Nice play by Zamarzalak out there, playing that off the wall, perfect, keeping Cam Smith to a single. It's a fastball up and away. Did what he did last night. Just took it the other way, off the wall, but again, Zamarzalak plays it perfect, able to keep Cam to a single. Nice off-speed pitch by Jones. Tibbs out in front.
Tibbs' last 4 plate appearances against Georgia Tech, 3 walks and a hit by pitch.
Definitely helping the on-base percentage.
There's the 0-1. This is low. 1-1. Tibbs hit career home run number 50 against Stetson on Tuesday night in DeLand. Look at those numbers. Pitching him carefully. Outside, 2-1. Tibbs turned some heads this summer at the Cape Cod League. 2-1. Off the hands. Left field, charging in and making the grab is Younger. One down here in the third.
Good job by Jones, able to get in there on Tibbs' hands.
Dingus, cleanup hitter. Hits it hard off the glove of Curse. Rounding second and heading to third. Throw in, not in time. It should go down as a single. And runners on the corners now for FSU.
Tell you what, Dingus again, with that violent swing, just smashes this ball. They're just not able to come up with it. I mean, right, one hop, that's a tough play, man. I'm with you. I agree on the single call there.
That is the third hit of the weekend for Dingus, second here in game two. Dingus, who started Tallahassee Community College in the JUCO ranks, was committed to Maryland before choosing and flipping to Florida State. The Animals are in fine form. You could play this game at 6 a.m. and they would be right there in Section B.
They definitely would.
Probably tailgating at 4 under the Oaks.
Yeah, I saw posts on social media from like, hey, this is a good day to take your sick day today.
And they take sick days every day when it comes to Florida State baseball. Do they go to work?
Hey.
This is their job.
Yep, and as a fan, I mean, as a player or anybody, when I played here, you loved having them up there and the support that they gave you. Like I said, I've said it many times before, it doesn't get any better than the Animals.
Jaime Ferrer. And a 1-1 count. Little check. Back to Dingus. Never hurt anybody. Jones has given up 6 hits, but just 1 earned run. Knowles threatening, though, to take the lead in the third. High, 2-1. We watched Jamie Arnold spray some hits last night, but to be able to work out of trouble time and time again. See if Jones can pull a page out of that book.
Definitely trying to compete for a ground ball right here.
Ferrer's got power and thunder in that bat. 2-1. Left center. Driving. Flying. See ya. Right on cue, Jaime Ferrer with a 3-run blast.
I'll tell you what, Jaime knew it as soon as he hit it. And Jones was looking down, too, at his pitch com and didn't want what they were wanting to throw. I think he might have wished he'd throw what they asked.
15th home run of the year for Ferrer. 31st of his Seminole career.
I mean, it seemed way worse.
They would have hated what Jose Bautista did in the MLB playoffs a few years back. Remember that one?
Oh, yeah.
He hit that to the third deck. There's Cantu in a 1-1. Cantu, a fly out back in the first. Swing and a miss.
Again, another good off-speed pitch by Jones.
Cantu slicing away from the left fielder. That's a fair ball. Up against the wall. Cantu's got extra bases as Younger gets it back in. Another extra base hit here in the inning for Florida State. A double. And some one-out life for FSU.
A great piece of hitting right here by Cantu, too. A different breaking ball than what he threw the pitch before. Able to stay on it. keep his hands inside the baseball and drives it the other way for a double.
There's Lodi's. Seminoles have a 3 spot on the board. Jackets fans align.
Yeah.
Should be at Truist Park on Sunday, by the way, for the game against the Padres. On my way up to Charlotte.
There you go. That'll be fun.
It will be fun. Bravos are heating up again.
Yeah, they need Acuna to get hot. And Olsen. Olsen's starting to heaten up, but
Yep.
Acuna's still kind of laying back in the weeds right now.
I was told my good buddy Wiley Ballard, who calls baseball for Georgia Tech and does some stuff with the Braves Radio Network and Valley Sports, will be in Hauser. Well, he was supposed to be at Hauser tomorrow. See if he still makes it with the doubleheader. Colin Lacey doing a great job over there for the Jackets Radio Network. Another base hit for Lodi's. Runners on the corners. Cantu slams the brakes at third. This is the 9th hit off Jones.
Yeah, nice stroke right there by Lodi's, right back up the box. It looks like we're going to get a pitching change right here.
Danny Hall out of the dugout. That's going to be it for Mr. Jones. We'll see how they reorder the lineup. And if Jones moves to first. I asked about it a few years ago why they did it. Because it used to be 8 teams got in, 2 pools of 4 teams.
Right.
One to get more teams in, to allow more teams to have opportunities in the ACC to get wins and perhaps if they're on the bubble, get into a regional. However, as this one catches the strike zone, mainly to save pitching. The league wants a lot of the teams to have their pitching available for the regionals the next weekend. Don't want any team to have to play 5, 6 potential games if you go to a true double elimination format.
Yeah, and I really feel like, you know, the tournaments have really kind of become null and void. Like they don't really matter. And so for me, they need to be putting bigger emphasis on regular season than like, hey, who won that regular season? That's your ACC champ. Not someone who goes and wins a tournament that no one really cares about because actually they're preparing for the postseason. So, you know, at some point, I wish they'd try to fix that.
1-2, fouled away. Here's the format. 4 pools, 1-8-12, 2-7-11, 3-6-10, 4-5-9. Winner from each pool to the semis, and at that point it's single elimination. Good stuff from our crew there. 1-2, on the ground, base knock, going to score a run. FSU pushes the lead to 4. McGuire Holbrook comes through, and the inning continues, a crooked number on the scoreboard.
Good job right there by the senior on senior day, driving in a run. Gets a fastball here, runs back over the heart of the plate, able to drive it into right field and drive in the run. Lodi's able to stay out of the way, almost got clipped right there.
That'll make McGuire Holbrook feel good. FSU threatening to bust this thing open in the third. 4 runs in, 2 still on with just 1 out. Fisher had a notion, and even Cal himself says, nope, that hit my bat.
Yeah. No, he's like, I'm serious. He's making sure he tells Coach Jarrett, no, I got it.
You think that's Cal being honest or a mix of Cal wanting to swing the bat?
No, I think he's being honest because that ball gets away. The runners move up and give him actually a better chance to drive him in.
Does swing away there. 0-2. You know how hitters are.
Oh, yeah.
They smell blood in the water. All of them. They hate walks. They hate hit by pitches. They want to swing the stick.
It's like Coach Baker always said, fighting for the bat rack.
Coach Baker. Haven't heard that one in a minute. He goes by a different name these days.
I gotta mix it up from time to time. I can't just call him Big Shooter all the time. Or Chibake.
0-2. What a pick there from Ellis. Jackets went with Von Lackey last night and will likely go to Lackey in Game 3. Ellis behind the dish here today. The 1-2 pitch coming to the freshman. Again, another nice play by Ellis. Count evens at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Fisher has had a knack for some timely home runs. First career at bat of the year was a homer. Had one against Boston College to tie the game up in Chestnut Hill. Big one at Duke a couple weeks back. Big one against Louisville. And the Seminole second baseman, probably going to be the third baseman, is what I've heard. Once Cam Smith moves on to the big leagues. But his versatility is what stands out. He can play third, second, short.
Play all of them. And all of them well.
He's got a thunderous stick. Let's see what Patel goes with here. 2-2. 3 straight balls. And Fisher, a satisfied head nod as he's moved the count full. Elodie at second, Holbrook at first. Knowles lead by 4. Runners going. And Fisher just catches a piece of the changeup.
That was a good pitch by Patel. Good job by Fisher to stay in there on that AB. A good changeup.
Five runs on 10 hits for Florida State. 4 runs here in the third. 3-2 pitch. Fisher held up.
Good AB.
That'll be another walk. And the bases are loaded.
Close. I definitely think he held up.
That is a skill set for your forearms and your shoulders to get forward.
And not be able to break those
and
wrists.
Don't break your wrists. My goodness. There's Max Williams. Hit hard. That's going to do damage. Fair ball. Into the corner it goes. 2 runs are going to score. They're going to wave in a third. Throw to the plate, not in time. Williams clears the bases and breaks this thing open.
Great job by Williams. He went up there with an idea, sat on the changeup, got it, drove it down the line, clearing the bases for the Noles and opening this game up, making it 8-1. You see right here, he gets a changeup, just sits on it. Great piece of hitting. Good hustling, too, from Cal Fisher. Showing the wheels.
A 7-run third inning. And Danny Hall told us prior to yesterday's game, he said, we're still looking for premier pitching talent. We feel like we can hit. We play good defense. We pick it. He's like, I got to get some dudes into this program. And Hall has had some good pitchers throughout his years. However, it hasn't just all come together. Great pitching with a great offense. And so Georgia Tech hasn't made it to Omaha since 2006.
Which is crazy to think about.
You know what blew my mind, actually, is that Georgia Tech actually hasn't made it to a super regional in almost 15 years. I mean, that's insane.
It really is, too, especially as, Coach Hall is one of the best to do it. Class act. I can't say enough about him. And the talent that he's had there, too. Hard to believe it's been that long.
On the ground, nice stop there by Giesler. Patel covering the bag. Going to rob Smith of his 3rd hit of the afternoon. Williams moves down to 3rd.
Yeah, really nice play by Giesler right here. Patel fielding his position, getting over there.
Here's Tibbs. First pitch misses inside Danny Hall. One of the greats in the game. 1,400 plus career wins, 1,200 of those at Georgia Tech. College World Series runner-ups in his first season in '94, taking over for the great Jim Morris. Swing and a miss from Tibbs. Morris, who ended up going to Miami. 4-time ACC Coach of the Year for Hall. He has coached some of the likes of Garcia Parra, Teixeira Wieters, Veritek, Bart Parada, Jay Payton comes to mind. I mean, guys who are MLB Hall of Famers. And you talked to James Ramsey earlier today about his time playing for 11 and now getting to coach under Danny Hall. Some absolute iron giants in our game.
Yeah, I mean, Ramsey again had nothing but praises to say about Coach Hall. Loved his time he's had at Georgia Tech.
Georgia Tech's last dominant team, really 2019, when they were the number 3 overall national seed, got upset in their own regional. As Tibbs going to add another run onto the board.
And another RBI to his total.
His first hit of the weekend. And Seminoles now up 9-1. It is 9-1, Florida State in game 2. First pitch misses down to Dinges. Marco got red hot from March to April, hitting over 450 in nearly 20 games. He's mad at himself for missing that one.
Yeah. Got him a fastball right down the pipe.
Dinges 3 grand slams this season. Part of a dangerous middle of the order for Florida State. Marco moved to Florida in his teens, graduated from Eastlake High in Tarpon Springs. 2-time first-team All-Panhandle Conference with TCC. And the story goes, he said, I was sick actually one summer, was in the hospital, and that's when Link Jarrett called me to offer me a chance to play for Florida State.
And to be honest, he was real sick. I mean, like to the point where they were nervous for his life.
Brian Henry able to connect those two.
And he was, Brian Henry is going to do great things over there at TCC, but he was all Marco from the get-go.
Serves this into the right center field gap, sliding grab from Sims on 12 hits against Georgia Tech's pitching staff. Zamarzlak, Bajetti, and Curse. First pitch missing. Inside Dorsey is at 50 pitches through 3. There's allowed 1 earned run on 3 hits. You look at the batting average. Knowles are 13 for 20 today. 12 for 20. I mean, they are incredibly hot. 1 through 9. Pull side, opposite field, extra base hits, home runs. And that's the damage this lineup can do when it's clicking on all cylinders.
And that's true. And right here, you look at Dorsey, though, coming in after a big inning. He had to sit for a while, trying to get it back up again. Typically, once your pitcher come in here, filling it up after a big inning like that to get you right back in there. But sometimes, too, when you sit for a while.
There's a strike. Dorsey started Gulf Coast State College last season. 99 strikeouts in nearly 67 innings. 2.43 ERA. Batters hitting just 190 against a top 5 junior college prospect. And that is his 3rd walk. A leadoff Base on balls for the Jackets. Mike Bichetti, the second baseman. A single in the second. That was his second hit of the weekend. Second pitch, a fastball for a strike.
If you're the Knowles coaching staff right here, you really like to see Dorsey just fill it up, make them earn it, get as far into this game as you can, so going into that second game, you got your pen fresh.
Serves this one in the left field. Fourth hit off Dorsey, and Georgia Tech threatening to try and trim into this deficit. Dorsey rated as a top 140 draft prospect. And we talked about what rounds, somewhere between 4 and 6. And Kearse trying to bunt his way on. Had a sack bunt back in the second. That one, though, looked more for the base hit variety. Big looping breaking ball. This is down low. Kearse caught a piece, 1 and 2.
Yeah, right on that one, right in McGuire.
Chavez, what are the keys to innings like this after you've sat on the bench for a while, watching your offense hit?
Focus more than anything, man. You really got to stay focused, because you start looking at it going, man, I got a huge lead here now. I can go and cruise, and you can lose it real easy.
Heads up. Georgia Tech dugout. Saw a couple of guys actually jumping the steps.
And guys going everywhere. Coming on the field, going down in the dugout.
Head on a swivel. Do the 1-2 again. Swing and a miss. Third strikeout for Dorsey. And the first out of the inning.
Tell you what, good changeup right here by Dorsey. Hadn't thrown many of them, but that's a good one right there. Got Kearse way out in front.
Dimitri Diamond. First pitch. Misses down low. It's 1-0. Sophomore, 5'11". There's a strike. 93 with the fastball.
Good spot. Really been locating well to the glove side for him tonight.
Here's the 1-1 to the 9-hole hitter. Top of the order awaits for Tech, Younger, and Burris, followed by Ellis. Dorsey out of the pen was up to 97-98 with the fastball. He settled in at 92-94, up to about 5 or 6 as a starter. Talked to him a couple of weeks ago, and he said, I still got it if I need to reach back. But kind of toning it down and getting into his mechanics has allowed him to really thrive as a starting pitcher.
Well, and like you said, too, I mean, when you only have 1 or 2 innings, you can, pretty much let it roll. But when you're starting, you really kind of got to maintain yourself because you know you're in for the long haul. Leave some in the tank.
Two on, one out. Two-two pitch. Fouled back over our heads. And here Doak Campbell Stadium behind us. Dorsey's got 3 Ks. Section B Animals will let you know exactly how many. 2-2 pitch, misses high. Good at bat here from Diamond. And if he can get on, Georgia Tech's really cooking with gas with Younger and Burris awaiting.
Yeah, with 1 out.
Big pitch here from Dorsey. Skied. Will that stay in the field of play? It's Smith. He makes the grab right in front of the Tech dugout. Big second out recorded by Dorsey.
Really is a big out. Like you said, now you got the top of the lineup up with 2 outs.
First pitch to Younger. Towards the netting, Cantu giving chase. Ran out of real estate. Younger 1 for 7 so far on the weekend. 0 for 2 today. He transferred from Wofford. 3-time All-Southern Conference first-team member. Georgia Tech revamped their lineup this season, reaching into the portal. And this was one of the bigger additions of the year for Danny Hall's Jackets.
Yeah, very similar to FSU. Most of their portal guys have come in and been huge contributors for him this year.
Spent his senior season in the state of Florida at IMG Academy. Familiar with the Sunshine State. Rolls this one on the ground. Fisher on a couple of hops. It is a Friday afternoon, but that was a Sunday moonshot to left center. It's just to the our right of the scoreboard. Scoreboard's left. That was his 15th long ball of the year. Here's a first pitch strike from McGuire to Ferrer, who continues to work his way back. Banged up his wrist pretty good. Has heard it diving for a fly ball in left field. He's heard it by having the ball hit him in the wrist on a hit by pitch. It has been to war and back. But Ferrer just such a key cog in that Seminole lineup.
It has been since he was a freshman.
He's batted in the 2-hole, the 5-hole, the 4-hole. That pitch catches the zone. 2-2. Two, fouled back. And here's how home run number 15 looked and sounded.
Yeah, he got a pitch that he could drive, and you see it like we talked about earlier. He knew it as soon as he hit it. I'm on the building over there by the Hauser retired number.
2-2 pitch, misses the outer half. Count moves full.
Tell you what, it's a heck of a pitch by McGuire right there, and he didn't get the call. You can see he was not happy.
Ferrer hit .313 this summer with Brewster in the Cape. Had 22 doubles last season, 19 as a freshman, but his doubles Down to just 3 here this season, but the home run numbers up to 15. A change in approach for Ferrer as he rolls it over to the shortstop and the 6-3 putout. Kirst made it look easy.
He sure did. Smooth over there at short.
Noles veteran first baseman steps in, Daniel Cantu. He doubled in the third. And officially 1 for 2 today. Misses the heater. 94 on the gun.
McGuire showing a nice mix with the breaking ball and the fastball.
Right back to it, and a quick strikeout there for Cantu.
You heard him grunt there on that one. Reared back a little bit of extra. 94. Great pitch.
Now Alex Lodis. 3 hits on the weekend, 2 today. In on the hands. Giesler makes the catch. Snow coned it, covering his eyes with his right hand. They all count the same. It's an out in the book. Who in a program of stars and incredible hitters. Look at those accolades. Trying to get that triple crown. You think about Parada and Bart recently as he pokes this one into right fields. And when you're that good, you just find ways to get base hits.
That's right. When you are that good, even your accidents find ways to fall in.
Teixeira's and Veritex of the world, the Garcia Parras. For Burris to be doing this in a year like the one he's having is impressive.
Yeah, like you said, and doing it as a freshman. It's not like he's doing it as a sophomore or junior. Not that Teixeira wasn't doing it as a freshman too, but just not at this high a level yet.
Now the single-season home run record is 26. Parada had that back in 2022. So Burris chasing that. The ACC and NCAA freshman record is 27. Tommy Tanks at NC State.
Yeah.
Now at LSU.
And Tommy had himself a heck of a freshman year.
Tommy White was incredible for Elliott Avon. Something I learned earlier today was that Drew Burris actually visited Florida State, and the Noles were in his final 3. When he was deciding who to commit to, ends up picking James Ramsey and the Yellow Jackets.
And it's worked out well for both of them. Tell you what, Ellis is an imposing presence in that box.
0-2 high and outside.
I mean, he looks like he just takes up the entire thing.
Ellis had a 16-game hitting streak earlier this season. That was snapped when the Jackets played Miami in Atlanta.
Good pitch by Dorsey. Ellis able to lay off.
Full count pitch. Ellis staying alive.
Good good AB right here for Ellis. Fell behind 0-2. Worked it back to full.
Ellis a single back in that first inning and a walk in the third. Trying to reach base for the third time against Dorsey in as many at-bats. Burris lead off first. Punch the other way. That will bend foul. Ellis began his career at Walters State Community College. After playing for the Tennessee Volunteers, he did not go around, and so that is the fourth walk for Dorsey.
Again, another, like I said before, great AB by Ellis, though. Able to fight pitches off after falling behind 0-2 and working the walk here. And
two on, nobody down. Top of the fifth. Runner going. Throw down to third is not in time. And Burris swipes the bag. For Burris, he's now 8 for 10 on the year.
not really sure why, but again, showing what he can do.
Pitch was called a strike. Looping into right field. No one's going to get there. Burris will touch home. Second run of the game for the Jackets. Giesler with another base knock, his second of the game.
As I said, not sure why. Well, there's why. Got his teammate an RBI.
Cam Jones began today on the hill. First pitch strike. Still nobody down in the inning. 9-2. That was the Jackets' first run since the top of the first. They actually led 1-0 right out of the gate. Tech trying to put a crooked number on the board here to try and get back into it. That pitch missed. 2-1.
Vine zone has been really, really inconsistent and tight at times.
Jones right at Ferrer. Didn't have to move much. It's a loud out. And the first out of the inning. Now at 90 pitches for Dorsey. Could be two. First pitch swinging. 4, 6, and 3. Dorsey limits the damage. His defense works behind him. And the southpaw thankful. He's up 7. Oh, Canada. Holbrook, Fisher, and Williams. Oh, Canada echoing through the chambers of Hauser. All is right with the world. The 0-1. Swing and a miss. 0-2 from McGuire.
Good looking breaking ball by McGuire.
Which McGuire?
The one throwing.
The one throwing. Here's the 0-2. Holbrook to Central. And Burris, who handles his position as well as anyone in the country, records the out. Fisher right back to the mound. McGuire squeezes 2 down.
Yeah, got in his hands a little bit. No flare, right back to McGuire. Hanging breaking ball. But McGuire making it look smooth. Tell you what, McGuire has come in and done a really good job keeping the Seminole bats at bay.
Quick inning for McGuire. Seminoles go down with a whimper here in the 5th. And to the 6th, have actually been handled by Logan McGuire pretty well. And that is actually, you know, if you break down Florida State's season, a lot of the times they have one big inning and a lot of inconsistent at-bats throughout the rest of the game. That's going to be a key for them moving into postseason.
Yeah, but again, you tip your cap to Logan McGuire. He's come in and thrown the ball exceptionally well, hitting with the breaking ball, locating the fastball, moving it up and down. So, I mean, I kind of more definitely in that aspect tip my cap to Logan McGuire.
Bichetti went around. Dorsey, 93 pitches currently. Softly hit. Fisher retires his counterpart at second base, Bichetti. First out of the inning. We've seen this from Dorsey before. Not always the most efficient pitcher, but he finds ways to get out of innings. And the stuff's really good, but he's been able to buckle down and find the pitches he needs. His defense has played well behind him this season, too. And the Noles searching for somebody after Jamie Arnold to calm the seas. Dorsey has answered the bell.
And he has as a starter, like you said. As a reliever, even though he was throwing harder, he didn't handle coming into the pressure situations as well as you'd like for a relief pitcher. But as a starter, when he gets himself into trouble, like you said, he's been able to work his way out of those troublesome spots. But he's pitched well today. Breaking balls, mixed in the changeup some more today. And then obviously locating the fastball great, especially to the glove side. And dealing with a tough zone by Vines behind the plate.
This is his 4th start in his last 5, where he's gotten into the 6th inning. Swinging it, strike 3 calls. Breaking ball, Curse, caught looking. That is the 4th K for Dorsey.
You see right here, great backdoor breaking ball. Totally freezes Curse. Great view here. Good depth, tight spin.
Now here's Diamond. Season high in pitches for Dorsey now. Threw 102 of them against Duke, 103 of them against NC State. Mingling Jarrett and Micah Posey going to let him have one more batter, especially the 9-hole hitter Diamond, who has struggled this season, averaged down to 125. Left fields towards the line, and it is a fair ball. Solo blast for the 9-hole hitter. He says, how do you like that for average?
Yep, I think you're right on cue from when you tell him he's been struggling. He's like, not anymore. I don't think the fans thought that ball was fair, but you don't see Coach Jarrett complaining, so. He gets a fastball. I'll tell you what, he does jump all over it, though. I think everybody was just kind of hoping it Georgia Tech dugout would stay fair.
That is his first career home run as a Jacket. Had to double check. And that's probably going to frustrate Dorsey. You're one pitch away from getting out of the inning. And now you got to face the top of the order again. But they're going to leave him out there. Nearing 110 pitches.
Looks like we got a pinch hitter here, too.
We do indeed. It is Parker Brocious. Two. Swing and a miss. Quality start for Dorsey. 2018 for FSU.
I mean, when you're almost hitting double what you hit last year, definitely is why they're at where they're at.
Let me correct myself. Wrote it down wrong. Since 2008 with the Posey, Jack Rye, Dennis Quinn team. Most home runs since 2008. The Noles nearing the century mark in home runs, one of the ACC's leaders. Top 3 in the conference in solo shots, in shots and home runs. Cam Smith's average back at 400. A surefire All-American.
Absolutely. Followed by one right after him.
There's the ball. Scouts wanted to see Smith cut down on his strikeout rate, and he has done a better job of that. Still has 43 Ks on the year. However, an improvement from a year ago, and with swings like that one, it's going to be an out, but a loud out. You've got scouts, again, and MLB draft teams extremely impressed with what Smith can become in the future.
Yeah, just his strength to all parts of the field. Swings it great, foul pole to foul pole. Defense is getting better. Pitch recognition's gotten better, and it's just going to keep getting better.
First pitch strike to Tibbs.
Good off-speed pitch again by McGuire.
Here's the 0-1. Off the end of the bat, hit them where they ain't. You gonna shift me? The game evens itself out.
Well, we talked about it with Burris. You know, when things are going well, they just go. Same thing with Tibbsy right here. You see here, just out in front on the off-speed pitch. But like you said, hit it where there ain't.
And Tibbs going to tell you he hit that thing 110 exit velo.
I don't know. Thinking about Tibbs, he might not, because he'll like the joke. He'll make a joke about it.
Oh, 1. Den just didn't miss that by much.
He was just a little bit out front.
Burris won't have to move very far. He dropped it! Oh, buddy. Burris will have a highlight reel of incredible plays throughout his career. That one is on the blooper gag reel.
Again, hazy, but I'm trying to see if he just... I thought he might have lost it, but he didn't. He just kind of took his eye off of it in the last second. See, he's kind of just chuckling at himself like, I can't believe that just happened. Now, after McGuire right here, you're kind of like, all right, dude, I just got James Tibbs fooled on a pitch. He gets a squibbler hit. That Dingus out in front underneath one. Now I got 2 men on. And Ferreira up, who's already hit 1 3-run home run today.
Two on, one down. First pitch in there for a strike.
I'll tell you what, McGuire, it's either been the slider or change-up first pitch for the last 3 hitters. All strikes.
Ferrer lifts it to right. It is Zamarzak who makes the grab. Runners stay put. 2 on and 2 down for Cantu.
See if McGuire keeps up what he's doing here and goes to the off-speed first pitch.
And Cantu first pitch swinging. Burris going to get another try. This time no problem. And McGuire able to escape any damage.
See him in the starting role the rest of this season. He's going to be a guy coming out of the pen, but you're right, a guy that's going to fill up the zone. And it's actually, wow, I'm impressed. 93 fastball. That's kind of where he was before the injury.
Yeah, talking to Mike Opposey a couple weeks ago, as that one misses. It's the breaking ball that they want to make sure still has its shape. He said the fastball through his first pen, and like you just mentioned, still up into the low 90s, 92, 93s.
Well, that right there was an 84-mile-an-hour breaking ball, too, so.
Whitaker has meant a lot to Florida State. One of the steadiest pitchers they've had over the last few years. Second-team freshman All-American back in 2022.
Well, just the big thing for me for Whitaker is just the guy goes out and competes. He wants to be out there. He's going to do everything he can. He leaves it all out on the field for his team.
Had found his way into the rotation for Florida State. Will settle into a bullpen role. Walks Burris. 5th walk by Seminole pitching. Colum Seawitt, 17 games a year ago, started the last 8. 65 strikeouts in 79 innings. Freshman year out of the pen, 2.48 ERA and 21 relief appearances. Here's Ellis. Ellis has reached safely in all 3 at-bats. A single in the first and a pair of walks in the 3rd and in the 5th. Lee 1-0. Pulled the string.
Good change. He's always had the good change-up. Good arm speed with it, good depth, good movement, especially away to the lefty.
Lee 1-1. Whitaker went to Sarasota High School. Check back, Burris in there. Low, 2-1. Burris gets his lead at first. Hit hard. A second hit of the game for Ellis. He has looked really good.
Yeah, both his hits going up the middle today. staying on the ball, driving it right back up the box. Not a lot to change right here in mindset of what Whitaker needs to do. Still looking for that ground ball.
Chavez, you ever miss an extended period of time in your career?
Knock on wood, I never did.
Okay.
No arm problems.
Defeats the purpose of my question.
Which was?
What was the hardest part of coming back? Well, and I'm happy for you.
Yep.
Thoroughly and genuinely.
Yeah, I lucked out. Took care of my arm and
Whitaker, since coming back, appeared at Pitt over the week. So Georgia Tech has scored in back-to-back innings, the 5th and the 6th. First pitch, strike 93 at the knees to Geisler. This game far from over with the ability Tech has in the lineup. And the 1-1.
you see that front shoulder on that breaking ball. It's been he's just pulling that front shoulder every time so far, and that's why it's been snatching outside of those right-handed hitters.
Rolled over. Could be two. Nice pick by Cantu. And Lodis Fisher turned the twin killer.
I told you, compete for that ground ball. He got it. Great job up the middle, and great job by Cantu to pick it at the end. Good baseball play all the way around.
Got to give a lot of credit to that trio up the middle for Florida State this season. Defensively, all three have done a really nice job.
As well as Faroe when he's been in there.
Faroe, Lodis, Fisher, that trio is interchanged at times this year. But up the middle, again, defensively, they've had pretty good chemistry. That's not easy to do, right, when everyone's new to the program.
Correct, what I was going to say, with everyone new.
PFP, Whitaker makes the play. Slow roller ends the inning. Veteran leadership, steady as they come. Connor Whitaker. He'll have a pretty nice crowd for the nightcap.
I believe so.
7, 8, and 9 due up here for Florida State. It's Lodis, Holbrook, and Fisher. Quickly 0-2 as Jackson Gaspard, the new pitcher.
Doesn't have a lot of innings, but it's done well in them. 5 innings, 5 hits, 2 runs, no walks to 2 strikeouts.
Lodis up the middle. And for the Seminole shortstop, it is his 3rd single here of game 2.
Fastball up over the middle of the plate, drives it right back up the box.
Exit velo was 104 on that hit from Lodis.
Tell you what, as a pitcher, you don't like to seeing that coming back at you.
Lodis has had some better swings over the last couple of weeks. Wouldn't you say so?
Absolutely.
Here's Holbrook. He's had some good swings today as well. Didn't get rewarded in his first plate appearance, a line out to center. But he did have an RBI single in that 8-run Seminole 3rd.
Yeah, you talked about Lodis on good swings. I mean, even on the breaking ball like he got last night, hanging breaking ball, deposited out to dead center field. Big hack 2-0.
Gaspard, the redshirt freshman from Flowery Branch, Georgia, Buford High School. Redshirted last season, behind 3-1 to Florida State's catcher. Also pitched in high school as well as hit. Hit 283 in 167 games for Buford. Full count with Lodi's at first. Runner going. Pitch misses outside. And so Holbrook walks. That is just the second walk by Tech pitching.
I think Lodi's would have been safe anyways. And he slowed down a little bit.
Matt Taylor out of the Tech dugout. ACC.
I know Seminole fans wish that FSU could get those 2 games back at Clemson. Things would look a lot different right now for both those teams.
Cal Fisher with 2 on and nobody out. Shows bunt, pulls it back, takes a strike. Gaspard delivers the 0-1. Served into left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. Rounding third, coming home is Lodi. And the Noles hit double digits.
Cal Fisher able to just get enough of this pitch to dump it in the left center field, and Lodi scores easy from second.
Fisher reaching down to grab that one.
Yeah.
And that is Fisher's second base hit. RBI number 12 for Fisher. Kid's got a bright future. No doubt about it. From Deerfield, Wisconsin. Now here's the lefty bat of Williams, top of the order. The Noles have pounded out 15 hits. We are in run rule territory, by the way. Do want to make that known. And new in the ACC this year is Williams fouls it back. A team up 10 after 7 innings of complete play. Ends the ball game. Saw NC State hit a walk-off grand slam last night against Wake Forest. Game ended early. Here's the 1-1. Williams hits it hard. Leaping grab by Zamarzlak. Into third base goes Holbrook. Wasn't that far off from a walk-off ourselves.
That was close. Hit that ball hard. Still got a guy at the plate right now. Still could do it, but might be getting a pitching change. On the fastball, has hit 97 before. Those a cutter and a slider.
Smith, first pitch, greets him with a rip to center field. That'll score Holbrook. And the Noles have 11 runs in the game. Cam Smith, his third hit. 6 hits this weekend for the Noles third baseman. continues to show you why he's one of the best players in the country and expected to be a first-round draft pick this summer.
Hitting everything on the screws, too. Even his outs have been hard.
First and second, one down. 11-3 Florida State. Tibbs catches a piece of the breaking ball. So far today, Tibbs credited with 2 base hits. He also reached in the first on a hit by pitch. Average back up to 388. 1-1. On it, but just a little late foul. Talking to a few folks about Tibbs' summer prospects for the draft. There's some expectation that he could move into the top 10. He has really established himself as one of the premier prospects of this iteration of the draft.
Tell you what, he's definitely earned it. His defense has gotten better this year. Arm strength's gotten better. And then not just that, it's just his in-bat adjustments that he makes is so impressive. He's just a mature guy in everything that he does.
You know, he reminds a lot of people of Georgia Tech hitting coach James Ramsey.
I like the comparison.
Breaking ball, got Tibbs that time. Nice snap by Bussey. A rare K for Tibbs, who has more homers than strikeouts on the year.
Yeah, you look right here, good breaking ball. It's a good pitch. Good pitch. I think Tibbs might have thought it was down, but to be honest, as a pitcher that I am, it's a pretty good pitch. I want that called for me if I'm on the mound.
Marco Dinges steps in. 2 down. Fisher on second and Smith on first. Marco 2 for 4. Couple of singles. A balk called. Both runners will advance. Doug Vines noticed something and immediately pointed at the mound and yelled balk.
I just don't think Bussey came to a full stop. Yeah, he never really stopped.
So the game-ending run now at second base for Florida State. Dinges catches a piece, 1-1.
And another good all-speed pitch. Ellis taking that one, I think, off his thigh.
Tibbs stuck at 23 home runs on the year. Ties what Matt Nelson did a couple of seasons ago. Nearly hits Dinges.
Not sure what Dinges was thinking right there. He's reaching down to block the ball with his hand. That could have been disastrous.
Coming to Dinges. Fouls it back. So in 2021, Matt Nelson's 23 homers. First in the country that year. How many players this season do you think have north of 23 homers?
Do you know the answer?
Of course.
11.
10.
That was close.
Misses inside, Dinges walks.
Close.
Game's just become so offensive.
It really has. I think you're seeing that these umpires, like you said, are getting graded a little bit more on their performance behind the plate.
Bases full of Knowles. FSU threatening to run rule Georgia Tech here in the bottom of the 7th. Now 1-1. Fisher at third, Smith at second, Dinges at first. Great stop there from Ellis. Nice pick.
Really good stop by Ellis there.
Jaime's homer, the only hit of the game for Jaime. And his only hit of the weekend. 2-1, popped it up. Curse will make the grab, and this game will go on. To the end. It'll be Zamarzlak, Bichetti, and Curse. Due up for the Yellow Jackets here in the top of the 8th. Waves through that fastball. Count evens at a ball and a strike.
Good changeup.
Georgia Tech is hitting some brutal double plays while threatening so far today. Zamarzlak hitting the one of them back into the 5th. Swing and a miss that time. Whitaker records the strikeout.
Yeah, good slider. Starts this thing, never even really on the plate. It just kept breaking away and fading away. Another good one.
Chetty's had a successful game too. Couple of hits. Two misses in the dirt. 1-2. One-two pitch check down. Indeed he did. Bichetti goes around, and the second strikeout of the inning back-to-back for Whitaker.
I'll tell you what, almost a carbon copy of the strikeout before. Off the plate slider. Definitely pretty close. I think that could have gone either way. Again, I want it as a pitcher.
The 1-0 to Curse. Snaps a good breaking ball in there for a strike. Curse 0 for 2, couple of Ks, and a sacrificed bunt in the second. Dribbles this one foul. Now 1-2. A positive step in the right direction for Connor Whitaker as he works his way back into regular outings for Florida State out of the pen. Fastball just missed, but it was exactly where Holbrook wanted it.
It's a really good fastball right here, you know, and
2-2. Breaking ball, popped, out of play. And the 2-2. This is inside. Chavez, what do you go to here?
I mean, I'd go with a fastball, but his slider's been pretty good. There it was.
Kearse stays alive.
See him backing that back up again with another slider. That one was hung a little bit, but he might stay with the fastball. We'll see.
Stroked into left field. That'll be extra bases for Kearse. He's into his second with a 2-out double.
Good AB by Kearse here. Gets a slider. Stays on the inner half, and you saw the frustration immediately from Whitaker. He knew he left it where he didn't want it. Kearse did what you're supposed to do with it and drove it in left field for a double.
That is the first hit of the weekend for Kearse. Getting extended playing time with the injury to Peyton Green. Dimitri Diamond. First pitch ball. Second pitch on the ground to short. Lodi's a couple pumps and a good throw across. One hit in the inning, nothing more. Through 7.5
wins, and they've won 6 series in the ACC.
It's impressive.
It
8
really
quad
is.
1 victories, like you were saying, the impressive wins. And if you get the Noles once, that's 9 quad 1 wins. Matter of fact, that's more quad 1 wins than Florida State has.
I was just going to say, it is.
Seminoles were stuck at just 6 Q1 wins. And they changed that format this season with home and away. And the number in the RPI changing. A home win not worth as much as a road victory. Taking after what happened in college basketball a few years back. Are we headed towards a net ranking?
Who knows?
Still, I don't have a full grasp of that
Right.
for basketball.
Good all-speed pitch by Gaudet.
We're talking to a lot of coaches. They are not fans of the RPI.
No.
A lot of teams who feel like it is imperfect and doesn't really reward everyone fairly.
I would tend to agree.
Cantu on a rope. Giesler able to knock it down, and covering was Gaudet.
Good job by Gaudet getting over there, fielding his position. Better job by Giesler blocking that ball up. That ball was smoked.
Alex Lodi's transfer from UNF has 3 hits here in game 2. The 1-0. Now 2-0. Fastball cut on and missed by Lodi's from Gaudet. Gaudet's mom, Shannon, actually played tennis at UGA. Interesting family dynamics. Poked out into center. Burris started in, now drifts back onto a knee. Both knees. And he makes the grab for out number 2.
That ball kind of sounded different. Came off the end of the bat, but it carried a little bit more. Wire swinging through that fastball.
One for 3 today. 8-hole hitter for Florida State. Down 1-2 now on the count.
Nice off-speed pitch by Gaudet there. Had Holbrook out in front.
High cheddar. Chin music. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Holbrook also walked in the 7th. Been on base twice. Count moves full. Holbrook, a second-team Big 12 all-conference team. A couple seasons back at WVU. Second walk. Great at bat by the Noles catcher. First pitch, strike to Fisher. Couple of singles for Cal and a walk. One out. This is 2-0. Check that count as 1-1. Swing and a miss.
Weird looking swing right there by Fisher.
Count is 1-2. I think the scoreboard at Hauser has it wrong. Doug Vines reminding everybody in both dugouts. Skips in there. Count is now 2-2.
Nice block right there by Ellis.
Softly hit into left center. Burris calls off Parker Brocious, and he makes the grab. And throw into a former teammate in McGuire Holbrook.
Yeah, I think mainly for short, the biggest thing you saw is just the walks. You get those walks down, being in that arm slot from down there makes him so effective against right-handed hitters. He's just got to be able to throw a little bit more consistent with the strikes.
First pitch nearly clips Brocious. Sidewinding. And ball 2. Short's last appearance was the midweek action against Stetson and DeLand. There's a strike. Went an inning and a third, gave up a run. Count evens at a 2-2 after that foul ball.
That was a good looking fastball there. Stayed behind that ball, got some good sink.
Two. Went to the bender. Fouled back. Brocious average dipped below 300 after he struck out in the 6th. Plate appearance number 108 on the year. Up the middle, ranging over, Lodi's makes the play. That was nice. Across his body, Alex Lodi's. Cantu stretched.
They're going to review it. At this point, why not? Heck of a play by Lodi's right here, though.
Well, Chavez, everyone's locked in for 18 innings today. Won't make much of a difference.
Kind of why I'm a little surprised. But good hustle by Brocious down the line. Lodi's ranging a long ways. I don't think this is going to change. I think it's a good call. I think it's bang, bang. But, again, we always talk about it. Remember what the play was called on the field. I just don't see there being enough to overturn it. Again here. Ooh, maybe.
Much closer.
Yeah, much closer from that angle.
Better look.
Yeah, it was a better look. Now that one you can't, obviously you're not going to be able to tell. That other angle.
Good work by our crew.
That is. Good camera angles.
Drew Burris. Single in the fifth, couple of walks. Snaps in there for a strike. Burris was a five-star prospect out of high school, playing at Houston County High. He was the first Georgia Tech true freshman to bat leadoff for Danny Hall on opening day since Kyle Wren did it in 2011. Top 5 in a number of ACC and national categories. He walks on 5 pitches. And so short, we'll have to work out of some traffic. Matthew Ellis steps in, and he's had himself a day. Reached in all 4 ABs. Officially 2 for 2, couple of singles, and 2 walks in the third and in the fifth. Here's the 1-0, and therefore a strike.
Yeah, Ellis has looked, like you said, really good at the plate. Both his hits right back up the box, line drives.
Back-to-back strikes.
Really good,
Short.
yeah, really good pitch right there by Short. On the knees, on the black away.
Swing and a miss. Ellis goes down for the first time today.
Yeah, really good fastball here. Good arm side run from dropping down, just running away from Ellis. Not able to catch up to it.
1-0 to Giesler. Fouled back. One-two pitch with 2 on and 1 out. Here in Georgia Tech's final at bat. Back-to-back strikeouts. Giesler chased a breaking ball at his head.
You see this, gets underneath this nice slider, just kept rising up. And we'll get Giesler to swing underneath it.
Florida State looking for its 6th ACC Series victory of the year. They would be 6-3-1.
Tied them with Georgia Tech with 6 series wins.
First pitch strike to Cam Jones. Georgia Tech's last chance here in game 2. That one tie, of course, with NC State. Only played 2 games that weekend. Jones went around 0-2.
So this is the stuff we were talking about with Short. If he could just throw strikes, this stuff plays very, very well with anybody in the country.
Jones stays alive.
Able to fight that slider off.
This is inside. Both runners advance. Brocious to third. Burris takes second.
I guess he did.
Here's the 1-2. This is outside 2.
Good job by Jones laying off. That's a good pitch. Good job laying off.
Two. Fouled back. We'll do it again. Jones 0 for 4 here in game 2. 1 for 8 on the weekend. Seminole fans chanting K-Time. They want the strikeout and they want the series. Short delivers to Jones. This is the outside corner.
Wow. That one looked really good, especially from a side armor coming. That barely catches it off the plate, but it's where it crosses the plate. Yeah, I'll take that back. A little off.
Full count offering. Swing and a miss. Ball game, Noles win 11-3. Series belongs to the homestanding Seminoles. So Georgia Tech has scored in back-to-back innings, the 5th and the 6th. First pitch, strike 93 at the knees to Geisler. This game far from over with the ability Tech has in the lineup. And the 1-1.
You see that front shoulder on that breaking ball. It's been he's just pulling that front shoulder every time so far, and that's why it's been snatching outside of those right-handed hitters.
Rolled over. Could be 2. Nice pick by Cantu. And Lodis Fisher turned the twin killer.
I told you, compete for that ground ball. He got it. Great job up the middle and great job by Cantu to pick it at the end. Good baseball play all the way around.
Got to give a lot of credit to that trio up the middle for Florida State this season. Defensively, all 3 have done a really nice job.
As well as Faroe when he's been in there.
Faroe, Lodis, Fisher, that trio is interchanged at times this year. But up the middle, again, defensively, they've had pretty good chemistry. That's not easy to do, right, when everyone's new to the program.
Correct, what I was going to say, with everyone new.
PFP, Whitaker makes the play. Slow roller ends the inning. Veteran leadership, steady as they come. Connor Whitaker